So this video is about fruit trees. We have about 22 fruit trees, something like that. And how to deal with the grass and weeds that grow up around the base of the fruit trees. It's already quite difficult to mow around them with my tractor to get it nice looking without, needing to trim around each one each time. But I bought these mats that block weeds. They're kind of expensive. I think 4 of them were about $100. And they're made out of recycled rubber. These guys right here. And they're supposed to block the weeds. And so far, I just put them in, but there's no grass growing up there. But my idea is to take some weed fabric, some driveway weed fabric, which is still breathable, and cut it in a nice ring and then put it on the remaining fruit trees and see which one performs better or if they're equal or what have you. So that's what I'm going to do, is cut some fabric a certain kind of way to make a nice circle and then put it on the fruit trees and see if that helps manage the weeds and grass and keeps everything looking good around the trees. So let's give that a shot. All right, so my idea here is to roll out some of this high-grade weed fabric, put a tire on it, and then use a torch to cut it and singe the fibers, because this is kind of like a knitted material and it'll fray. So I'm going to use one of Spike's old rims and tires as a template, and then a torch, cut around it. Try to position this so I don't waste material. Maybe I can get two cuts out of each one of these. Let's give it a try. Seems to be working pretty good, and I can use this to get right in the center. So I can make my center hole. Let's see how that turned out. Well, that idea worked a little better than what I thought it would. So you get nice edges here that are not going to fray. Then I just take some scissors, cut a slit. Now we have our, what I call a fring. That is a tree ring. And we'll lift up the mulch, put this down and put the mulch around it and see how this works compared to the $25 rubber ones. If it performs even close to as good, I'm going this direction. Not bad. right, so I got 6 frings, F-R-I-N-G. I call them frings. I found that if you kind of go a little further away from the tire when you're cutting, when you're using the torch, it makes more material, go on the edge, and I think that probably is a benefit. So don't go right up to the edge of the tire. Go a little further out, then let the plastic kind of melt and shrink down to form a, more of a thicker, more substantial edge. Versus if you go right against the tire, you get a less substantial edge. So I'm only going to do 6 to see how it works out. I think it'll work, but we're going to do 6 frings on the fruit trees and see how it goes with blocking the grass and weeds from growing up. All right, so the first thing I got to do is get rid of the old mulch, or at least move it. So I'm going to move that mulch. And we're going to put in a fring. I had some paper down here, craft paper, that disintegrated a little faster than I thought it would. It's not really that effective for what I'm trying to do here. Just a quick little side note, using a bow rake makes it a lot easier than using a shovel and the other method I was using. So I just put this down and then scoop everything back around it. Works pretty good so far. Let's see how it lasts. This is what I'm trying to avoid, the grass growing like this right here. So I'm going to try to avoid that by putting in these rings. As you can see, it looks pretty good all the way across the lawn, so we'll see how it lasts. All right, it's been a few weeks, And here's an update on the fruit tree rings or frings. They seem to be doing pretty good. Definitely cut down the amount of grass growing through. This one's a little weird. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's tucked underneath. Okay, so grass was kind of creeping over the top of it, like from here. So they're not going to cut it out 100%. Then if I properly killed this grass before I did anything, probably have been better. But if you can see the fabric right here, and it's not really growing too much into that. So that's a good thing. It helps cut down on the weeding around it, but if you want to get that nice crispy look around the trees, I imagine you still need to either use a flame weeder or a regular trim line, string trimmer. That's what I did here, and then you get that more defined look to it. So these were the ones that had the expensive rubber rings, and they're stopping it right around the tree, but like I said, the grass is still kind of growing up sideways and getting over the ring through the mulch. See the ring right there? Probably needed a bigger ring, but that's the biggest one I could find. That was the material I wanted, not the thin stuff. But I think they help, but they definitely are not the end-all answer. If you want it to be really pretty, you still probably need to hit it with the trimmer. But at least you don't have to get real close to the tree if you trim, which helps reduce damage to the trees. So all these got fringed up, and yeah, it helps. But that grass that grows sideways is still an issue. That'll grow right over the thing if you don't put it in check. I'm sure I'll figure out a better method and better ideas later, but I think that was a good idea to put that weed fabric down in a circle to help slow the growth of the grass. So I'll come around here with the trimmer later. Got a lot on my plate today. I have to go chop up a bunch of branches at another property I own up the road, and I'm gonna have to get my hydraulic chipper out. I could burn everything, but I want to use the mulch. And I bought the darn thing, and it was kind of expensive, and dang it, this is an opportunity to put it to use. So I am going to do that. It's going to be a hard, rough day, but I'm going to make it happen. Here's some tomato stuff. There's a celery growing that from an old celery. Just put it in some water, let it sprout up, then plant it. I think that's a tomato plant. And yeah, we got some more tomato stuff action here. These are my bio ribbons where I just put food waste in to seep into the soil, and then I put a little bit in the actual soil itself. See how that works out. And then my bamboo over here that I've had for years, that was supposed to take off like 2 years ago or 1 year ago. On its second year, it's now its third year, and it's barely even doing anything. One is not even alive anymore. Then my black bamboo over there, it's showing some progress. And then here's some bamboo that I got off the side of the road. A nice gentleman let me scoop out a little bit of his bamboo, and I planted it here, and it's taken off. Looks better than the stuff that I paid a lot of money for. I don't know what this is. It's like a weed growing in next to the bamboo. You might have to go, bro. I think you're trying to steal my bamboo's energy. What the heck is this? it ain't nothing good. Cause it's gonna go bye-bye. Get out of here. But yeah. Then I got my giant cannas over here. Some of these cannas are taller than I am. I mean, that canna is almost 6 foot tall. This canna is, yeah, probably 5 foot tall. This canna right here is literally taller than me. I'll stand next to it.